Good morning, everybody. I said you might not see me over the weekend. I'm sorry, I was not accurate. I've just been doing a lot of thinking on the Kylie Rodney case, and I thought you guys would be interested to know what it is I've been thinking about. So, one of the first things that my mind has been hung up on is the 1,000 grams that most of our adult lungs weigh in an autopsy. Each one of them will weigh about 1,000 grams. And I believe Kylie's lungs weighed each 1,000 grams and maybe 1,010 grams or something like that, 1,100 grams. In the event of a drowning, those lungs would weigh a lot more, somewhere in the range of 1,400 grams to as much as twice their weight, 2,000 grams. So minimum, I believe, is, let's see, I wrote it down here. Minimum is about a 20% increase for a drowning. So that would be what, like 1,200 grams? So there's a big discrepancy in there. If one of those lungs is only 1,000 grams, that's the weight of a lung that's dry, basically. So that's one thing that got me. Another thing that I keep getting back to, excuse me, while I drink my water, it's in a Daily Greens bottle. I love this stuff, but this is just water. I do drink a lot of vegetables. I just find it's one convenient way to get them into my system. And veggies are where it is at, right? Okay, so 1,500 to 2,000 grams is usually what like a saltwater drowning victim's lung would weigh, each one of the lungs. And then if it's fresh water, it's going to be a little bit less than that. That's what the internet says anyway. I'm not a medical forensics, whatever. Let me add here, everything I say is my opinion only. It's purely for the sake of discussion and conversation. And I'm hoping that it's entertaining and educational. Especially I'm hoping that it's educational because my whole point in covering Kylie Rodney's case or any other case is really not as a knee-jerk reaction and not to try to make cash. It's simply to try to make all of us safer, period. You know, we can learn from each other's mistakes. We can learn from everyone's mistake. I think that there were a lot of mistakes made in the Kylie Rodney cover-up. Kylie Rodney case. It's funny, not funny, right? There are so many indications that it is a cover-up, and that's just not the slightest bit okay. So let me go on with why I think it's a cover-up. And there's just so many. Where do I even begin? And I've been going over that coroner's report, of course, like everybody has, trying to with a fine-tooth comb, and at the same time wanting to wait for more information because supposedly the investigation is not complete, is complete. I mean, there's just so much weirdness with this case. For instance, in the coroner's report, it says that she was wearing a pair of black briefs on top of the bodysuit. They said French cut bodysuit. That is like so 70s. I remember when things were French cut, maybe 80s, but we haven't said that in a long time. So that really dates the people that wrote that French cut, unless that's a new thing that I'm not aware of, that it's come back. So a pair of black briefs, like what are they talking about? I have no idea. I'm interested. And green twill pants. One shoe is on a foot and one shoe is off a foot with a sock tucked inside of that shoe that came to the coroner's office or the morgue delivered with the body, but off the foot. So one sock and shoe was on and one was off. So that's interesting. It said in the report that there were 3 yellow chains around her neck, which in the photograph from the surveillance footage, the still shot, there's no chains that I can see around her neck. There's almost maybe one thing I can kind of see a blur of around her neck, but it's certainly not that big necklace with the heavy gold chain that starts in the back and then extends to 3 chains that they kept saying in the beginning of this case, look for her necklace. And they kind of indicated you're not going to find her. You're not going to find the car, but you may find that necklace. And I just thought it was so weird. Like, how would they even know that that necklace isn't on her? Where did they get that information? And then it got dropped like a hot potato. And now in the coroner's report, it says that there were 3 yellow necklaces. One has a small stone with no color. I don't know if they mean clear. And then 2 are pendants, allegedly. And then with the bracelets, it said that in the report, it said that on the right wrist, there were 5 bracelets. And the 4th one was a light colored beaded bracelet. And again, I have some of my bracelets on today. These are the same 2 I had on yesterday. And then this one I did not have on yesterday. And I didn't even put it on to make this video because I didn't think I was going to make a video, but I just like the colors of it. And in the photographs of Sammy's white bracelet and Kylie's white bracelet, it seems to me that it might be stones about that size. So less than a half an inch, a little bit more than a 1/4 inch diameter. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. Educated guess, right? And look at that sun. It is trying to fight me, and it will always win, right? I'm nothing compared to Mother Nature. So I'm just going to stand over here in the corner in the shade, and I'm not going to apologize. One of my subscribers said, if you talk about the lighting one more time, I'm going to die. And it's just like, okay, you try making some YouTube videos, okay? The lighting is insane. Indoor light, outdoor light. I could go get my baseball cap and stand in the sunshine. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to try to stay focused on my notes here. Oh, man, I might really... Hold on just a second. Hopefully nothing will fall down. But, man, it is just so flipping annoying to me because I thought that I was positioning things that were going to be okay for the sun that is still rising. It's about, what time is it? What day is it? It's about 10:30 on Saturday, October 15th. And I don't want to end my stream and start over, but I might have to. Okay, so let's see. One of the things that, let me finish the talk about the bracelets, is I've seen photographs of Kylie wearing, I think, multiple bracelets, maybe on both wrists. I know I've seen pictures of Sammy wearing multiple bracelets on both wrists. And kids do that, right? I mean, I do that. Some days I have multiple bracelets, sometimes I don't. But it looks like they have or had a matching bracelet. And it seems as though the left wrist on Kylie's autopsy had nothing on it except maybe a scar. And I'm wondering, it says that it was a surgical scar. So I'm wondering if that was a scar from when she broke her wrist. And I'm so curious if anybody knows how Kylie broke her wrist. Again, somebody commented about some suicide attempt. And I'm like, what? Are you talking about the cast that was on her wrist that one time? I would think if she had a suicide attempt, it would be all over the information of the internet by now, right? Especially getting spread by people like Jagger. My goodness, this is so annoying to me. Okay, so I'm just going to stand over here in the shade. Criminals, the way criminals involve complete strangers that are just, you know what? I'm getting pissed off. I'm going to start this over. I apologize. I'm just going to go end stream.